Hello everyone, welcome to the Advancement Centre and welcome to the world of magic and miracles, where we return after a short break to allow everyone to connect once again to that special place that we all know about, where we interact with one another at a different level and we bring back into the earth all the gifts that we have for one another, for the world and for the universe itself. And on this special occasion, we're about to sample what Simmion brought in on Friday, and that is that special dimension where we see our personal glamour shine everywhere and come back to us and lift us much higher than we've ever been before. That special dimension holds many gifts that we've never seen before. It holds a future that we've never seen before. And it enables you to intermingle all your gifts with the gifts that are sitting there in the future, ready to enhance the world in its new state. And I talk about a new state because we all know about it. We all speak about it. We all know, we all wonder where it is. But in a moment of us all being together, we can experience that special time, that special feeling, and that special knowing that we are much more than anything we've ever imagined. And that glamour is something for each one of us to parade to ourselves. And if somebody else sees, they will be so enlightened by what they see. We'll just smile and give them a bit more. Because that's what we're about. In this world where we see the future and we live the future and we live the present all at the one time. We're in every place. We move as quickly as the imagination can start to get going. We're there and back. We have the ability to generate fields and energies and excitement and magic to such an extent that we can slot something new into a moment in our real life and actually change the future. Many examples have been shown where people thought they were going to have an accident and all of a sudden the picture tore apart, they passed through and it came back together again. And they didn't have an accident. Now that's available to you 100% of the time. Anytime you wish, you can step forward into another space and watch the expected future change. You can watch the moments stop as you step into another place in safety and in the glory of your own being, and actually use what is provided in the world as a tool and as something to really play with, to turn things upside down and show that it still works, to interpose in your own feelings and watch them all change as the world around you changes. Step out into nowhere and you think you're going to fall, but you still stay there. Feel yourself float even though your body doesn't move. Know one another at a distance, know one another intimately, and know one another beyond intimate, to the extent where you can feel another person's body. You can feel the exotic feelings and you can feel the difficulties. And the part of you that feels that can actually change that feeling so that you feel better and so does the other person. They're all gifts that you have that you've not used for a while. You use in emergencies. You use when there's nothing else available. But now, all logic is being redirected so that logic actually feeds into what used to be illogical, untrue, and absolutely stupid. But now, what was stupid is surpassed in a moment, not even by a thought, by something else that we brought to this world, by powers and by love and by something else that has no name. That something else is 1,000,000,000,000 times bigger than even love. It doesn't have any conditions. You walk in and you see yourself and you glow. And everything starts to work. The energy pops up. Your whole being comes alive. Your eyes sparkle. People say, I want some of what he or she has got. And they know what it is, but they can't describe it. They know they want some. And they forget they can switch it on or off as they please. That's that happy switch I always talk about. You can switch it on, or you can stand in front of someone, switch it off and say, no, I'm miserable because of you. You're now in blackmail mode. And we've all been doing it all our lives. We're now in a position where that switch is locked open. You can't switch it off. You can try, but everyone will laugh at you. You can be miserable for a short time, and people will look at you and start to laugh without showing it on their face, and you'll give up. The beauty, the personal exoneration is with you permanently now. You don't have to forgive yourself for anything. You just don't do the things that need forgiveness because they're really hard work to do. And it's not somebody else's idea that you're working with. It's your world, your beauty, your glamour, your ability to shine above everything, no matter what's presented to you. Even what looks like being a fatal accident. There are ways and means that are beyond this world. But the thing that you've found out is you are beyond this world. And you're the one who carries the key to whatever you need. So that sparkle is available anytime you want to impress people or to impress yourself. To make you look in the mirror and say, wow, that's miserable. And then have a big laugh. To just see in somebody else's eyes that they're seeing what you're doing often makes you change direction. But now you know that everybody knows. You feel that they feel what you're putting out. You get a response. You don't know what it is, but you're fully aware that you're not up to your own standard. Because everybody can pick when you're not up to your own standard because you transmit it louder than when you're up to your standard. So now, in that beautiful field that Simmion presented to us, that glamour where you shine, and you shine back at yourself, and you laugh, a different sort of laugh. It's one that's above all thought. It is amusement, because you're so amused at the fact you didn't see how brilliant you are, and you're trying to tell everybody that you're not. Yet it's transmitting out to everyone. You take less than a second to transmit all the actions you perform in a lifetime. And you just present another world instantly, just like a child does. They present a world to you and you've got it. You accept it, you spread it, you bring it open, and you make room for them in this physical world. But they presented you with the whole lot in one bolt of lightning that hits you and stays there forever. So now we can do that not to one another, but to ourselves. We can send that bolt of lightning straight to ourselves and find we can surpass it. It actually switches something on that enlightens us, that makes us brilliant, allows us to understand what we couldn't understand, and allows us to redirect logic into the realms so that we get back exactly the right answer. And it doesn't come into our brain. It comes into our whole being, in that light, in the glow in your eyes, in that sense of knowing, in the thing that transmits to everybody and says, try me on. I'll guarantee I'll find a way. But the brilliance is nobody can try you on in a negative way anymore, because it falls on the ground before it gets to you. This is the advantage of what Simmion has been bringing, how he's shown you to walk straight out there into the world of your Creator. Stand tall and present yourself in the real terms of who you are. And as soon as you do that, it reflects straight back into the physical world. And the world of magic and miracles belongs to you, to do with what you wish. So all your tasks need nothing except access to the world of magic and miracles. And you're the one who gives yourself access. You just step forward and take it, because it's where you come from, it's where you belong, and it belongs to you. So we're going to see a major increase in universal intelligence, in people that you wouldn't believe had any idea at all, particularly yourself. You will see and understand things that are not even presented on TV or on the internet, but things that are presented to you through other means. Just as you're walking along, boom, in comes a picture, in comes a signal, a feeling, a person, a whole new way of life, out of nowhere. Watch it. See it happen. It's on the horizon. It's coming in every day. Look past that, so you have the feeling of everything that's coming to you, and you can dance with it and know that the the stuff that's presented in a negative manner has had so much energy put behind it that it cannot stay afloat anymore. It's like an aeroplane that's all engine that's got no wings, and it runs out of fuel, falls on the ground, it cannot float. The world is dynamic, but nowhere near as dynamic as each one person, because that dynamic nature was created by people. We were trained to say, well, they did it, or somebody did it, or the government did it, or the country did it. But in fact, it's you. And being trained to say that the company did it made it look like the company did it. But you cannot find anybody in the company that actually represents the company or the country or anything else, because it is the inherent nature of people at a higher level, not the inherent nature of a mob. So you have now pulled in that higher level. Your intelligence is way beyond all scales. And you have a knowing that doesn't need explanations. And you can surpass anything and keep going. So the more I talk about it, the more excited I get, because it drives every part of me and has done for many years. And I know that it's all available to everyone. I know everyone has the capabilities. They don't have to be trained. They just have to see themselves. And it's done by exposure, by us getting together and feeling one another's beautiful energies, working with one another, but not in the way you do to earn money. You're working with one another in a light-hearted manner, to keep everything light, to make hardships disappear like magic, to make circumstance balance itself out so that there are no hiccups. They only look like they're coming your way. As soon as they get to your field, they tear apart and your perfect world appears, or a perfect solution. And if you've ever looked at most problems you've ever had, when you come up with a solution, you find out there wasn't a problem. It was manufactured, and the solution showed that it was manufactured, and that let you settle down and not react. All that now happens automatically. In the realms where you reside, everything melts and reforms into the perfection of your world and into the perfection that you bring to this physical world. Everyone, no matter how they're judged or what they do for a living, is the top of their own world, the creator of it. And by that I mean everything and everyone in it. Your brain will not get that, but with your elevated intelligence, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the respect we have for one another is in what we see when we look at someone. So if you can actually appear glamorous to you, you will appear glamorous to everyone. And you will change everyone's life. How simple is that? That's the highest order of any control system, simplicity. You see yourself as a totally glamorous person, you will switch on glamour that you didn't know about. You will switch on facilities you didn't know about, energies and fields you didn't know about. And you will glow, and you will show colors, and you'll read things with your eyes shut. You'll read people from behind, from the next room, and you'll know that it's normal, because that's how we're meant to be. So at this time when we find that we think we've got to the point of seeing that we're much more than we thought we were, we can see that we're only at the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more to each one of us that we haven't really brought to the surface. That we always needed a method, a means to get to. It's all changed to where relax and you'll float. Have a bit of a joke and you'll bounce to the top. See yourself as glamorous, on goes your engine. Twirl around a little bit and all your existence changes. Does and experience the magic. So the more we do that, the further we get into the basis of life. And we see that we don't need any base because we're supported in every field right throughout the universe without any structure. We don't need a pen and pencil to get a message to somebody. We don't need a telephone to transmit to someone to pick up some milk. You'll find the more we do it, the easier it becomes. And without knowing, the person who's shopping will go and get some milk and bring it home. We have a better communication system than anybody has ever developed. And it belongs to us, not to train, but to use. This is the difference. You don't need any training to use what you have. You don't need any exercise to enhance it. You simply use it and it'll work perfectly if you don't add anything else. The simpler it is, the more efficient it is, the better it is. And you contain all this, and you've only got to say to yourself, well, I'll just do something special and be glamorous, and on goes all the switches. And you don't have to know where it comes from. Do it a couple of times and you can't stop doing it. Be glamorous. Be wholeheartedly joyful about all the strange things that have been listed as don't do's. You know, wink your eye at the right person and you'll have them explode with joy. Put a dimension around you and a child so that you can speak and they speak to you and nobody else knows. They'll be your friend for the rest of their lives. These are the skills you have. You can create dimensions. You can open dimensions. And you don't have to disturb anybody except the dimension. You can get into a conversation, or you can be excluded from a conversation. That's just manipulation of dimensions. And it's also playing with your communication system. But at any time, you can relax and be in the middle of every dimension. Hearing it, feeling it, hearing the chatter in a person's brain, hearing the interaction with the various operating parts of their body. And we're now at a point where no one will think you're crazy. I've spent many years with people saying you're crazy. You can't do that. So watch me. And I could tell them before I ask a question, I can tell them the answer. And you can do that. You know someone's about to speak and you know what they're going to say. And the best example I always give is a mother and a child. Before the child speaks, the mother will put a finger up and say, "Don't tell me that lie. Tell me the truth." Because they hear at another level exactly what's being conjured. And when we move forward after today, we can actually be thousands of pounds lighter. We don't have to carry brick walls around. We don't have to carry past events around. We don't have to carry anything around, and we don't have to dump them because they're not there anymore. Just look at the glamour and see what happens. Your control system's just fire. Your body becomes alive. Something happens that's outside of all the things they've ever shown you in science. And this is why, out of nowhere, someone can feel an impulse and just turn off a computer, wreck a communication system, turn off the TV, blow light bulbs. Because we have that. It's not destructive power. In the past, it was interfered with so much, it would have a glitch every now and then and have to release its power. And for many people, it was disconcerting, particularly blowing light bulbs. But it happened, and it can still happen. But now we are much more precise because we know if we look at ourselves, it's in our world. And we're the creator of our world, and we don't create rubbish. We honour everybody's effort to do exactly the same in their own pattern, and honour the fact that everybody is different. And we also honour and respect the beauty of every being and what they bring to this world and to others. And the fact that sometimes we're closed off too much to see the scope of what someone offers. We brand it as disturbance, where in fact, it may be the most brilliant delivery into the world you've ever seen. So the more we expand and the more we allow that intelligence to act with respect, deep respect beyond anything you know in your mind, then our personal systems will just switch on, run automatically, and get bigger and better every minute. So remember nothing, play with everything, and have a lot of fun and a bit of mischief. It always makes a difference. And always say to people, even if you don't do it out loud, I wish you a perfect life perfect health, and an extremely magic future. Thank you, everyone.